A few years ago, me and my family went onto a vacation, and so we went onto a cruise ship. And so there I was on the vacation, on the cruise, and what do you think I was doing? You'd expect me to be going around, exploring, and doing fun things the entire time. But no, I was sitting inside of the cabin, using my phone. And so that was just one of the many times where I'd be sitting in a room, distracting myself instead of exploring and living life. I was so addicted to my phone that I literally couldn't get out of bed. I wasn't even able to go out and socialize with people. And so it was on that cruise ship when I realized that even when I'm surrounded by thousands of people, I could still feel lonely. With the rise of technology and social media, face-to-face interactions have become a rare commodity of the modern day. And if you think I'm kidding, just go out into any public space and look around you and you'll see it. Every single time that I go to like Starbucks and wait in line to get coffee, everyone there is using their phones. And most of the time you don't even get acknowledged. People don't even say hi anymore. They just walk past each other looking at their phones. And that's one of the reasons that we have so many mental health issues these days. Studies have literally proven that increased phone usage increases depression and anxiety, and we're all walking around here like that doesn't even exist. We keep on looking for other problems to blame, even though we know the real underlying issue. And so the worst part about this addiction is that you can't change anybody unless they actually want to change. So this literally means that a lot of my family and a lot of my friends, even though I keep telling them these things, they don't change. So if you want to take control of these addictions, it's really up to you. A few years ago, I was tired of being overweight. I was tired of being called fat at school. I was tired of being made fun of. And I was tired of these distractions taking control of the life that I wanted to live. And so I made the change. And so if you're one of the few people that is tired of being manipulated by these evil technology companies, and you want to start living free from the grasp of these companies, this video will actually be able to help you. The first thing that you have to admit to yourself is that you're addicted to these things. Once you have the humility to say that, like I did a few years ago, that's when you can make the real change. That's when you can make a difference in your life. Most people won't be able to admit this. It's like when you see someone that's been smoking for 30 years and you tell them they're addicted and they'll just respond to you that they can quit anytime. They're just choosing to keep smoking. But deep down, you know and they know that they're actually addicted. And so while we were on that cruise, I remember the very last day of that cruise when the entire week went by and I barely spent any time with my family or doing exciting things. But it wasn't until today that I realized that I'd wasted so much time there. So I learned that whenever I want to spend time with my family, whenever I want to spend time with my friends, and I actually want to do fun things and experience life and experience enjoyment and true enjoyment in the real world, whenever I want to do that, if I'm not careful, my phone will keep me from doing those fun things. Especially back in the day when I was using it all the time and I had notifications on that would keep me on it at all times. If you have notifications on your phone, it's literally an excuse to keep looking at your phone. I remember every time I'd put my phone down, it'd start buzzing and it'd literally feel like it was calling me back to it. But the thing is, that's exactly what these companies want you to do. They want these notifications going off on your phone so that you stay on their apps. And that's why I turned off all of my phone notifications, because I can still check the important stuff without getting notifications. So if you're making excuses right now for not turning off your notifications, I literally had my notifications off for 2 years and I still haven't missed anything important in that entire time. So you need to realize that the notifications on your phone aren't even important. If it's really that important, I promise that somebody will call you. Something else that I learned on this journey is that life is so much more exciting when I'm living outside of my comfort zone, outside of my little box. Because here's the thing. You don't realize it, but your phone is keeping you in one place at almost all times. For me, that one place was always my room. I'd constantly distract myself over and over again, whether it was with my phone, with video games, or with TV. Whatever it was, different forms of these distractions always kept me inside of my house, never going out and exploring. And so as a result, my social skills were literally garbage for most of my life. And so it wasn't until recently, when I finally got over my technology addiction, when I realized just how awesome it is to be able to go out into public places and to be able to communicate with random people. I remember how I used to have so much social anxiety because I was always overthinking what other people thought about me. And I could never really be free in my element. And so when you're trapped in this bubble of distractions, you never actually start to develop the skills that you want until you escape that bubble. And so you could literally go the rest of your life like this, And so do you really want to be like that weird 30-year-old guy that's antisocial? Or are you finally ready to get outside of your comfort zone and experience what it's like to have a bunch of friends and people that look up to you? The last thing that I want to talk about is how limiting your screen time will make you so much more aware and so much more present in the moment. Once you break free from the endless scrolling, you'll realize just how awesome it is to be in a room and to not feel weird anxiety. I remember that every time as soon as I got done with playing video games, I would always finish and feel like a pull to go back onto them. And when I wouldn't do that, I'd feel super anxious for some reason. The thing is, when we hyperstimulate our brains for a certain period of time and then we leave those things and then we're back into the real world feels like fake. It doesn't even feel real. It feels so boring and so unstimulating because we just had that super huge hit of hyperstimulating dopamine that's just messing up our minds. And so if you actually want to feel like a normal human being, like how a normal human being is supposed to feel, you need to make that change. And so if you're ready to make that change, I have a free community for you. Right now, go into the community and click on the link in the description where I offer entirely free courses made just for you. Also, make sure you subscribe and leave a comment and tell me your story. Like I said, if you take action on this video, it will make a difference in your life. But if you ignore this advice and you just click on another video, your future self will pay for it. But now it's really up to you. Are you gonna make a difference, or are you gonna idly watch as your life passes by? My name is Justin, and remember, you deserve the consequences of your actions.